Back again, another message, and we're talking about the narcissist and them being paranoid, them and their paranoia. This is often one of the things that people don't speak about with narcissists, but they have a large degree of paranoia, being paranoid. And it's not just a normal paranoia, like they're kind of worried about something. It's legit paranoia. Um, Again, if you been paying attention or studying or learning about narcissism, you know that they have a certain degree of hypervigilance, which they feel like everyone is out to get them, right? There's an enemy at every turn of the corner for them, so they have to be on maximum alert. And it's not just because they want to be that way, right? It's because of the fact that narcissists are so confrontational and constantly getting into it with associates, friends, family, you name it, right? And so over the course of a period of time, they make a lot of bad blood. I mean, they make a lot of bad, situations. They make themselves potential enemies, and it's never from one source. And oftentimes, people who they mess over or whatnot, you name it, sometimes link up with other people to, you know, go after the narcissist or whatnot. And the narcissist knows this because, believe it or not, many of you may not see the narcissist that you was with in that regard in other confrontations outside of you because you're worried about you and them. And while the narcissist has moved on from you, they're engaging with other people, doing other things, having more conflicts, creating more disturbances, enemies, you name it. And because of this, oftentimes the narcissist in the back of their mind knows that there's the potential of some flack from this. There's a potential for some rivalry or whatnot. And so the narcissist is constantly on the lookout because they have to, they know the things that they've done to screw people over, to, break relationships up, do friendships, what you name it. And so oftentimes the narcissist is very paranoid about what is going on. They look at everything suspiciously. They're overanalyzing things, thinking they're going to always think critical of something before they think positive of something. Even if they tell you they like something and they're okay with it, they're probably lying to you. They're not okay with it. If they tell you you're their friend, if they tell you they're cool with you, they're not. They see everyone as a threat. Everyone's a threat. They only play the role so that in their minds they can unmask or uncover you as being the very thing that they were thinking in their head the whole time about you being a threat. So they'll play the role along with you to, get along or whatnot, just to, they're just really observing you. And they have every expectation that you will become the very threat that they thought you would be. And this is based on their behavior. Their behavior brings a lot of these turmoils and stuff to themselves from other people, other situations, you name it, in relationships. It's their behavior that brings on a lot of the attacks that they get, right? And oftentimes the narcissist doesn't see this in that way. They just feel like everyone is against them. Everyone doesn't like them, right? That's how they're gonna, portray it. And, explain it away to the person who may not know them, is that, oh, people are always, doing them something or something like that. You may have noticed when you met the narcissist that you were with, you got the story about their past and how everyone was against them and no one really stood in their corner and this and that. You have to think about this. This is because if it is that way, more than likely the narcissist was doing things or displaying a lot of behavior or engaging in situations that caused a lot of these problems for people to want to turn against them. And when it blows up, it's all said and done, the narcissist is going to paint the narrative as though people just came after them, attacking them. Their ex was this, you name it. The situation at work was something, and they had to do this. People were against them, and this is a kind of a big red flag that people overlook. Is the fact that people who are constantly having disputes and fallouts, 9 out of 10 times there's some behaviors behind that is very dubious and diabolical, but you're not going to be paying attention initially to what that would be stemming from. And so this is why with narcissists, because they engage in so many of these conflicts all the time, they stay in an on guard, defensive mannerism. They're always on a defense. They're always looking for the next slight. They're always watching, looking at people, etc. Because their nature of what they do, they know that there's going to be something coming back at them at some point in time. So it creates and it makes them paranoid. And that paranoia can really spill over in their minds and even make them have, sometimes audio hallucinations. They can have actual, visual hallucinations. Sometimes the narcissist really is hearing something different. When you're telling them something, they're hearing a totally different thing that's coming out of your mouth. Because in that state of paranoia, it's not allowing them to sometimes interpret reality as it should be. They're hearing something totally different. You may have told the narcissist something and explained something to them very thoroughly, and then you come back again and tell them what went on, and they're telling you, you didn't say that to me. Because in that state of defense, in that state of being defensive and wanting to guard and protect themselves all the time, it causes them to block out certain information that was relevant, but they didn't hear it. They heard something else. They're on guard. They're not even hearing all of the words that's coming out of your mouth. It's just a bunch of mumble jumble to them. That's why they don't have comprehension when you're trying to speak to them and you're making plain, clear sense. That's another sign with people too. When you look at people who, when you're speaking clearly and you're making sense, they're just not getting it. Right? That's a red flag. That's definitely a red flag. It's because of their on guard defensive nature of feeling as though they have to protect themselves, because all of the things that they've done that have created conflicts that, these perpetual conflicts that go on and on and on throughout their lives, they expect things to go wrong. They expect more things to happen in a bad way. So they will tune out certain things that doesn't go along with what they want to hear. Right? And so again, when you're making a point, or, many of you have been in arguments with narcissists and these, especially these intimate partner settings, being in arguments and stuff like that. And you end up finding out that you know later on you'll bring something up that you said, and they be like, again, they don't have any recollection of it. And it's like, are they doing this on purpose? Sometimes, yes, but more oftentimes it's because they're so wrapped up in their mind and wanting to see and hear what they want to see that nothing you're saying or displaying to them makes any sense. They're just not going to get it. That's that point of how operating in that state of paranoia, what it does. So, be mindful of that. That's when you see signs like that, people that are on guard, hyper vigilant, that paranoia is at the core of that too, as well. And dealing with anyone in a paranoid state is going to be extremely difficult and ultimately toxic to your well-being. Anyway, that's all I have to say for this. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, book a one-on-one consultation if you're interested. Just click the link in the description box, shoot me an email, and I'll get the information to you. Till next time, have a good one.